Hello, and welcome to our stream for creators on a mission. And we're talking today about legacy, specifically practical steps to leave your legacy and how it's related to YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for waiting for this stream. I see some people were eagerly waiting in the chat. So when you are joining the chat, don't forget to say where you are watching from. It will be great to know the geography of our community. And we have chosen today a very good topic for creators on a mission, because nothing shows you and points you the mission as the topic of legacy. Legacy is a long-lasting impact that one's life leaves. Legacy is not inheritance, it's not physical. Legacy usually is about intellectual property, but in the sense that we understand. In wider sense, legacy is the memory and the products that keep transforming lives of different people even after the lifetime of the person. So it means that legacy is related to death. Legacy is related to stopping life on earth. So for us to leave a legacy, we need to face the question of death and not to be afraid of it. And that's why in this series of podcasts and streams about mission, I'm talking about death. And you know, I'm not the only one who is talking about death. All prominent people had something to say about death. And if you know Steve Jobs, maybe you are watching this broadcast from the Apple product like iPhone, you must know that this person knew something about legacy. And actually he said that most likely death is the most, I think he said, genius invention of life. Death is the greatest invention. Why he would say this, that death is the greatest invention? Why he would think that the moment we vanish, the moment we disappear, the moment we stop existing, why does he think is the greatest invention? Think about this. Just give it a thought, give it a minute and think about this. Why would be death beneficial to you and to me? Actually, I had a near-death experience. It's not like I've been flying in the tunnel, but I was feeling like death is very clearly breathing over my bed in the hospital. I had few operations after the accident, and I had an infection, so it was very likely that I wouldn't survive. Even more, doctors told me that if I would delay 6 hours for some reasons, like my doctor would bring me into the hospital 6 hours later, I would lose all blood, so I wouldn't live. So by accident, I am alive after the accident. And this experience that I had, the biggest takeaway from this experience that I had was that life can disappear very fast from nothing. Like, I didn't do anything extreme. Of course, I did something that brought to this situation, but it was not that like I was jumping with parachute. It was mundane things that brought me to the situation where I almost lost my life. And there being on this bed and feeling like there are clouds over my head, and it felt like I am going to give account to God very fast. And I was asking everyone to pray for me because I was feeling that it was the only thing that could help me. And And I thought that if I would just have some more time, I would do this and that. I was dreaming about many things when I was on this bed and living this near-death experience. I thought, like, if I would just have a chance, if I would just have one more opportunity. And I was granted this opportunity. It was 20 years ago. I'm still alive, and doctors that see my MRI, they believe that it's a miracle operation. It's not like it's miracle, it's a miracle operation. They did a very good job making me not only alive, but also fully functional. I can eat whatever I want, although people after such accidents usually stay the whole their life on specific diet. So I have escaped a lot of things that could change my life totally. And only one thing changed, is that I always say it's a waste of time for things that I like. If I'm on the meeting, if I'm on the meeting and someone is talking rubbish without any meaning, I would feel like I'm losing my time. And I would say, we're just wasting time here. I see this phrase so often, we're just wasting time. So cutting this long story short, my biggest takeaway is that I started understanding that time is unpredictable. It can just go. One day you can find out that your lives, like in a game, are reduced to one. And you have just one chance. And how it's related to YouTube, how it's related to legacy. In the moments like this, you always think, what will be left after you? So I want to ask you, if you die today, what will be left after you? Let's take it from different perspectives, and I want practical perspectives only. So let's say, if you have children, what will happen to those children? Are those children will be taken care of? You think your husband will take care of your children, or maybe he won't be able to do so. Maybe your mom will take care of those children. How they are going to bring them up, what principles they will instill in them, what they will teach them. Will they teach them the experiences that made you? Will they teach them the principles that made you? Or maybe they will become totally different people from what you would like them to be. If you leave this earth today, how your elderly parents will be taken care of? Have you thought about this? Who will take care of them? What about the things that you have? What about the pictures that you have? What about hobbies that you were pursuing? You were collecting something, doing something. What about the videos you were doing for YouTube? What about all those things? Who will take care of them? Have you thought about this? Do you know that your memory is your responsibility? No one is responsible for your memory living on this earth. So if you want your memory to live, it means you want to leave a legacy. And let's say if you are gone tomorrow, your children will be able to learn from you directly, although you are gone, if you left a legacy. How you can leave a legacy? By writing a book which covers your biography, for example, or writing books and explaining to people your life principles and what you have learned and what you stood for and what you keep standing for. Writing your what was revealed to you, your revelations in life, what you have paid your price for to learn. Do you remember on yesterday's live stream we have read a quotation that of Oscar Wilde, saying that the experience is never free, you have paid for it. So all these experiences that you have in life, they are going to vanish if you don't take care of making them a legacy. So legacy is not becoming a poet. Legacy is not doing something that is only for geniuses and special people. Legacy is your life. Is your life. Can you live your life after you are dead? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Of course, it's not going to be physical living, and it's not going to be conscious existing. You are not going to see this. But your legacy will keep working on this earth. You would say, why would I care about this? And you are right. Why would you care about the legacy after you are gone from this earth and cannot even benefit from it? You are right. And I am a very practical person, and I asked this question myself because I was thinking about leaving a legacy. Why would people think of leaving a legacy for 300 years? I know a person who has decided to leave a legacy that will live 300 years. It will outlive him. And I understand the principle behind this is like he's writing the books, he's recording a lot of video, creating media that will be passed over to next generations. But what's your benefit from it? Why would you do it? Why would you? I'm practical, you know. I like to know why would I do it. Not that I'm mercantile. I just don't want to waste my life. I just don't want to waste any hour or minute from my life. So why would I invest in things like that? My time, the only thing I have. Why would I invest the only thing I have in the world? My life. To building a legacy and thinking of how I would live after I leave this earth. And I started digging and trying to understand this question, why would I do this? And what I found is that if you do not live for legacy, if you decide to just live and plan only for the time of your life, if you just live for the time of your life, you are missing out on many opportunities because this thinking is limiting you to your lifetime. I remember when I had a team of young social media managers, and we were trying to grow our Facebook pages to 1,000 subscribers in 2016. And it was like a huge task because we were starting from zero, those pages. And we were thinking how to grow to 1,000 subscribers. And it didn't work. Whatever we were doing, it was a lot of activities there was. And it wasn't working. Not like we expected. And one day I understood we have a shallow-minded thinking. We are targeting too low. Do you know when you want to you want to fire an arrow, I don't know, arrow and a bow, what is it called when you want to shoot with the arrow? You have to shoot above the target so it flies like that. Let me just draw. I have prepared something new for you today. You know that I like always new things. And my principle I have learned from Mr. Beast and other successful YouTubers is that every of my streams have to become better than previous, and I hope it works. So here you go. Let me actually change the place where will be my picture. That's better. So imagine this. You are here. This is you. This here is your target. So you have to shoot, like, let me draw a person here. And you have a bow and an arrow that you're going to shoot. So the trajectory of this bow and an arrow, it doesn't have to be straight like that. Let me show you. So it shouldn't be straight like this. So you should not shoot straight. How do you shoot? You have to account for the air, for, you know, all the obstacles, including the gravity. So there is a gravity. Gravity, you have to account for gravity. So the arrow has to be shot like that. And then it will hit the target. So there is also air. So if air would come from this side, you would then shoot against the air and higher, and it will go like this. So you can, if you do it too high, of course, it's going to be like that. If you do it straight, it's going to be going lower. Because of the gravity, there is gravity. And you have to account for this gravity and for the air and for all the circumstances. So if you are planning your life, if you are planning to leave something on the earth after you are gone, this what is the first thing you should do? The first thing is you have to target higher. So because if you don't target higher, you will not even hit the target that you have. So that is why you need to account for gravity. In our life, there are things that, instead of gravity, that will always lower our results. Unexpected things, they will lower our results. So if you are planning just for your life, or even worse, if you are just planning for 1 year. So going back to this question of 300 years, what happened is that at the point of working on this topic of leaving a legacy and living for 300 years, I had already a very detailed plan on how to develop my business, and my business is connected to my mission, how to develop it for the next 8 years. So I have counted for the result I want to have, how many coaches in the area that I'm training I want to have to raise, how many projects I want them to create, and I had a target of projects, like what do I do if I want to have 1,000 people who are actively creating projects to help people. So that was my target, and I did already a coaching program for 2 years, and I have seen that from 20 people who onboarded, only 20% was left, yeah, and was still working. So I have just seated and mathematically calculated, if I have 20% of active students after onboarding, how many people I have to work to onboard, and how many people actually will get to the destination. And I have counted all limitations possible. And it was for 8 years. And I was working for this. And it was great. It was going well. I wasn't under any pressure. I just was working steadily. And then this topic of this topic of 300 years legacy And I thought, wow, so this target of 8 years and 1,000 of active creators on a mission, I might not even reach this target, because this statistics is not enough that I already had. It's not enough, because I don't know what will happen in life. Some time ago, we had plans with my husband to do stuff, and then he has broken his leg, and all our plans changed for 2 years or 3, even more, 5. It affected us for 5 years. It even affected us to the point that I had to live separately, and I had to leave Greece and go to Ukraine, and I was living 4 years, and it was all, I was living 4 years separately. He was working on cruise ships, and you know, the work on cruise ships is you are not going home, you're not coming home, you are just working. So I was living in Ukraine, and even this, it was all happening after our plans were disturbed by his situation, his accident. On the you know, nowhere, he was with his bike, trying to just park it. He wasn't racing or something, he was just trying to park his bike, and it slipped and fell on his leg, and our life changed. So if I target for 8 years, and I even had what I calculated, I even calculated a 30% plus of what I had to do, actions I had to take. So I even extended them 30% plus, so that I actually reached this goal in 8 years. And it was a huge goal for me, like 1,000 creators on a mission that are actively creating and changing lives of people like me. So I wanted to reproduce myself in this way, and create people who are making significant investment in lives of other people. And then finding out that I cannot reach this goal if I don't count for gravity, then what will happen? I will not reach this goal, and it's going to be a waste of my life. And that's what I'm scared of the most, because I told you, when I had this accident, I understood that I don't want to waste even a year of my life. And that's where idea of this community came. So I had courses developed for my closed community, for only those who pay and get in, and I coached them, because I wanted people to pay the price for learning so that they can appreciate. But then I said, Kate, if you are targeting so low that you want to achieve just a target of 1,000 people becoming creators on a mission, you are going to lose. And especially if something happened to you and you lose your life, this mission is not going to accomplish. So even for this, even this can be thought of if you are targeting for 300 years of living. And that's when we talk about legacy. So 300 years of living is just minimum that you can plan for you to have a significant outcome in your life. This is not some kind of number taken out of the head, is actually a number that that is experimentally derived, you know, from experiences of many people, because we are not the first who are thinking about how to leave a legacy. There are so many people who thought of leaving legacy. Person number 1, Jesus Christ. Person number 2, Marcus Aurelius, for example. I don't know, Greek philosophers, they were thinking about this. That's why you are reading about those philosophers, because they were thinking of how to leave a legacy. If you don't think how to leave a legacy, you will not leave a legacy. It's not possible. So only, and I'm coming to a most important point of you understanding how to leave a legacy. Point number one is, for you to leave a legacy, you have to be intentional. Only intentional people leave a legacy. If you don't plan to leave a legacy, you won't leave a legacy. But if you don't even want to impact people after you are gone from this earth, if you are not planning overhead, if you are not planning over more beyond your lifetime, even your lifetime is not going to be successful. Because this is a shallow-minded thinking, shallow planning, and it will cost you. It will cost you. If you are a person who wants to make a change, never think that your lifetime is enough for this. Your lifetime is not enough. And here where this planning for 300 years comes in. Let's talk about practical things, how to leave a legacy. I hope I have explained to you why it's important, but let us talk practical now. So first of all, who leaves a legacy is an intentional person leaves a legacy. So you have to be planning. I want to leave a legacy. You have to be very conscious about this. I am working to leave a legacy. For example, this is what I'm doing. And that's why I am releasing all these videos and recordings, because I want as many people as possible to embrace them, to have them in their life, because I can secure like this my legacy. If people don't have access to the values that I have today, I won't be able to secure my legacy. To secure your legacy, you have to serve people here and now. And that's why I started releasing my courses free, because that's the only way to cover as many people as possible with my legacy, to secure my legacy. So intentional. Then another thing is that people who leave legacy on earth are people who are building systems. Intention is not enough for you to leave a legacy. It's just a wishful thinking. If you just think, oh, let me make YouTube, let me write books, and maybe one day someone will discover and save them in the library. No, it's not going to happen like this. You are living in some kind of fairy tale if you are thinking like this. No one cares about what you are thinking. No one cares about your ideas. No one cares about your experiences. You need to build systems to ensure that your ideas will be in the library. You must work on your YouTube to become YouTube that will be in the saved list of million people. And that's why I'm always saying, guys, we need to grow this channel to 1 million subscribers, because anything less is shallow, is not worth our time. And it's same for you. If you are planning to have 1,000 subscribers, or you have paid for subscribers, you have bots subscribed to you, no one is watching your channel, and you are satisfied? What? Why? You have lost your time. You have lost your money. You have lost efforts you have put. Why you are doing this? Build real community. Target for 1 million. Don't be shallow. Don't target for 100,000. You have 100,000 subscribers. You are satisfied? No one even sees your content. No one cares about your content. You must make systems to make people care. And those systems, they should solve people's problems systematically. This is how you build systems. So it has to be solving people's problems systematically. That's how you build systems. So people who leave legacy, they build systems intentionally as well. if you have questions, and if I am talking about things that you don't understand, for example, how to build systems or things like this, I want you to write it in comments, because you will guide me in what content I should create for you, because I'm here to serve you, to become a creator on a mission. And I need you to write to me so that I understand the feedback and the level where we are, so I'm taking you from this level to the next one. And those people who are living legacy, they are not living for today's problems. They are not living to solve today's problems only. They are taking problems that are higher and above them. Because as higher problems you are solving, it's like if you're solving higher problems, the problems that are on below level, they are solved also automatically. Not like you don't have to think about them and create solutions, but when you follow your mission, you find resources for all mundane things and problems to solve. But if you focus on mundane things, if that's your main focus, you are in trouble, because you are not a person that is living for a legacy. And then, in the last one, the person who will leave a legacy is the person who can pass down the ideas. What do you think about this? So do you know that every live stream you can call in, and there is a pinned comment that says phones to call in, and there is a Google Meet to join. So you can click on this Google Meet, and I will allow you to talk. If you desire to show yourself on camera, I'll show you. If not, it's just going to be a sound, but we can discuss this topic. Let me go back to who can pass down the ideas. Well, just think about who can pass down the ideas. The person who knows how to communicate. And there are different types of communication that usually is used to leave a legacy. Number one is writing. Number two is speaking. Number three is art. Without these three things, you cannot leave a legacy. You don't need to have all of them. You have to master one or two. And I have a plan to master all of them. And not just communication skills. You must have excellent communication skill. And this is why on the next month, we are going to talk all the month about excellence. This month, we're talking about mission, and legacy is connected to the mission, because your mission is above your life, is more than your life, and legacy helps you in it. So, writing, speaking, and art. So let me make a small break and read comments that we have. This is a great way of thinking and living. Developing a system to accomplish this will be useful. Thanks for teaching. This is from Real Mentor. This is Matthias Luka Agbu is my team member, and I don't call him student anymore because he's already like full team member. He's a creator on my level already. And he will used to be also, because what Matthias is doing, he is already for a long time creating a legacy. He just needed the way to become public and memorable. That's what we're working on. But he's worth following, so just click on his handle, and you will find his channel. Amazing channel. That's for fathers who want to raise children, real men. If you want to have a proper impact on your children, you must follow him. Actually, he has 5 children, 5 boys, and he is talking from experience, so I highly recommend. And there is another comment from Nova EHC6C, and I'm reading this for you, Svetlana, to understand that if you don't join from your main account, people are not going to follow you. For example, I will praise you now, what they are going to do, how they are going to follow you. If you are Nova E86C, etc. Guys, if you are joining this live stream, join from your accounts that you want to develop, because people will follow you from here. Imagine I have a target of having 1,000 people on the live stream. So 1,000 people will be looking at your comments there. They will be following you. 1,000 people every day, Monday to Friday. That's the goal. This is what we are doing with you here. So join from your real accounts. I mean, not real. This one is obviously not professional account, from professionals. But let me read what Svetlana is saying. Svetlana also is a team member. That's why I'm talking like that. I know I'm talking like that. We need a system, she says. Otherwise, we can waste our time thinking we are doing something worthy. Yes. And by the way, what system does for you, it saves your resources. It saves your resources. That's why you need a system. Not only you are wasting time without the system, not just because you think you are doing something worthy, but because without system you can't save your resources. Let me give you an example. Imagine there is a cafeteria. Oh, you see, now Svetlana is writing from her business profile. So you should follow her if you have anyone in your family that is addicted or have any addiction. It can be substance abuse, or it can be addiction to, I don't know, social media, anything. Just listen to what she's saying. She explains how to behave so that you don't enable this behavior in your family. So what she's writing, we need a system, otherwise we can waste our time. And what I wanted to bring you to you as an example. Imagine a cafeteria. So imagine the place where people order breakfast every morning, and you have 15 clients, 15 visitors who order the breakfast every morning. And what is breakfast is just boiled eggs and a toast, for example. Yeah, let's just make an example. Every time when the new customer comes in, what do you have to do? You have to put the water on the stove, I think, and boil the water, and then you have to drop an egg, and you have to wait for 4 minutes so that it's boiled properly, not overboiled. And at the same time you have to heat the grill, put there your toast, and toast. One person or 2 people can manage it. If one person comes, then in half hour another person comes in, and you can manage it. Yeah, imagine 15 people came in all together. Maybe you can manage it, maybe you cannot manage it, because you don't, maybe the place on your grill is not enough to put so much bread. Maybe you cannot handle 30 eggs, because everyone will eat 2 eggs. Maybe you cannot handle 30 eggs to boil them at once. So there will be already some issues. So when you want to scale, when you have a grandiose thinking, not in terms of how the psychiatrists look at this, but I mean grandiose, big vision. If you have a big vision and you follow it, it means you, for example, you have to boil 100 eggs in half hour. How do you do this without system? You cannot do it. You cannot do 100 toasts in half hour. unless you have a system that is like factory. So every minute there is an egg rolling through this trail on the trail, some kind like rolling, and then it drops into a boiled water, and then it automatically falls out and rolls into the plate, and like this you can manage because the system is doing it. And I took this example from the book of CEO of Intel. Actually, he had a book about leadership, and I don't remember exactly what's the name, but it was a great book, and he is talking about the system over there. Then when you have a big goal, you have to have a system, and we're going to work on it, of course. But today's topic is legacy, and the system is just one point out of it. You have to be intentional, you have to have system, you have to not focus on surviving, and you have to know how to pass down the ideas. And I stopped on passing down the ideas is writing, speaking, and art. Communication skills, they have to be excellent. So excellent communication skills. Excellent communication skills, you are not born with them. And yesterday we spoke with you about what YouTube channel gives you. Why do you have to start YouTube channel? And do not abandon it because there are no likes. It's because in this process you are developing your communication skills that are essential for your legacy. Communication skills are essential for your legacy. You cannot leave legacy without communication skills. And one of them is writing and speaking. This is what you develop on YouTube. Because for you to speak, you have to write. First, you write the script, you write the way you will be talking, and then you are actually sitting in front of camera and trying to retain the attention of your viewer. And then after some time you go to analytics and you check, have you been able to retain the attention of your viewer? And analytics shows you that here people dropped off. Why did they drop off? Because you were boring there. And everyone is boring in the beginning. And if you don't have subscribers, if people are not watching your video, it's because you are boring. And I would say that not too many people are watching my videos is because I am boring. Yes, I am boring. I don't know how do you listen to me. But the thing is that I am developing. You can't imagine how boring I used to be because I was going for actor training, how to speak. And this is where I learned that you cannot speak in monotonous voice. I used to speak like this. I would never raise the voice or lower the voice. I would just say like this. Let me say what I just talked to you about. To pass down the ideas, you need to have excellent communication skills. Write, speak, and art. How fascinating is what I have just said? Like, how long are you going to stay with me if I'm going to speak like this? There should be a dynamics. There should be pauses, not monotonous. And many smart people, they are talking very boring. They are so boring. Oh my God. How many teachers are boring? Teachers are just a disaster sometimes. In school, I mean. Like, they are disaster. No one taught them about how to communicate. But if you take this as a challenge on YouTube and you don't give up, you will eventually develop it if you have this as a goal. Why? Because you want to leave a legacy. And of course, that's not enough to just talk. You have to talk on the topic of your mission. You have to talk about what you want to remove and plant. We're not talking about the garden, we're talking about ideas. There are things you have to uproot and plant. And we are going to discuss this topic on Tuesday, I think, because this is how I plan our live streams. I plan that we have on Monday some kind of Q&A. I collect your questions and I answer them. And if you don't write to me questions, then I collect questions from, there are platforms that are collecting questions. Like frequently asked questions on our topic. And I try to make it interesting. So I want to make it on Monday. Then on Tuesday and Wednesday, I want to cover topics of the months that we're having. And Q&A is also related to the topics of the month. And then on Thursday, I want to have a hotspot. A hotspot is going to be a seat for one of you, for me to roast you, for me to fry you, to bake you, to make you cooked. What does it mean? I'll take a channel of one of you and roast you and just go through the channel and tell you what to correct so that you have more people following you. And that's not pleasant for you, but it's very educational for yourself and for people who will be watching this. So if you want to be the person like this, you should write to me in comments and I will contact you, or better go to my Facebook, Koronied, and you can write there, connect with me in Facebook, in Messenger, and I will schedule how we are going to do it. So I will schedule in other Thursdays maybe. So if you want to be this person, let me know. So now going back to the plan, and then on Fridays, I want to invite a guest each Friday. So this Friday we will have Andrew Mudolo, who is a writer. He is writing books and he's going to share with us some ideas. We are going to have discussion about intellectual curiosity. So then why I'm saying my program that I want to do is that next Tuesday we will talk about uprooting and sowing. Because what happens with people who want to change something? For example, in Africa, there is a lot of religion, and many people believe that this religion, does not allow for people to escape poverty, to escape, misery that they are living in. Religion. And many people on social media, on YouTube, what they are doing, they are just uprooting. So they are just saying, this is wrong, this thing shouldn't be like that, that's bad. So they are usually criticizing. But if you uproot, only uproot. Imagine you are tilting the ground. So if you are just uprooting and you are not sowing anything there, what result you will have? What will grow? Nothing. So you are just removing the weeds. Do you know that the weeds, they are important for the ground? Do you know that the weeds, they have so deep roots that they hold the ground? If you just uproot the weeds and you do not sow anything, when there will be rain will bring erosion to the ground. All minerals will be lost from this ground. Everything will be lost from this ground if you just uproot. You can't just uproot. It's just irresponsible. You have to sow. If you are telling people not to give tithes because they are poor, tell them how to earn. You don't know how to earn. You yourself, you are surviving. You cannot earn, but you are telling them not to give tithes because tithes give them security in their mind. They think they are protected. Let them be protected in their mind, at least, if you don't give them solutions. If you cannot provide them with solutions, why you are just uprooting? And that's not a topic for today. That's a topic for Tuesday. Uprooting and sowing. That's what's important if you want to influence. So I think it's time. Maybe I will cover one more thing, and the rest will be next time. So what I will yeah, I will cover maybe next time how to actually learn to speak, how to learn to write, and how to learn art if you are in want to develop in this area, to influence. We will talk about other time because that's the point for other time. Do you want to write what are your takeaways from today? What do you think? Let me, meanwhile, everyone who watched till the end, you are just a hero. Just a hero, because I know that I'm not perfect yet. I'm not that interested. Today, I even didn't change the, the windows. I'm preparing so much stuff like this graphics. There will be, for example, I can show you the last video that I have published. Here it is. So there are so many things that will come in, and I want to show the chat on screen. Many things I'm planning. So I make this entertaining for you. I want to make it entertaining. I'm like developing. I think it's going to be fabulous live stream, because we need 1,000 people on this one live stream. Why do I want 1,000? I told you, because if you want to influence, you have to target higher, so that the gravity doesn't destroy your efforts. It's like the parable about seeds. You have to seed in the evening, in the morning, in the afternoon. You have to sow the seeds all the time, because you don't know which one will grow. That's why you have plan higher, and that's why we need 1,000 people on this live stream. So there is a comment from Real Man Mentor, Matthias Lukagbu. On the issue of boring on YouTube, I personally feel the audience that seeks for substance may not care too much about charisma. I am attracted to substance more. I believe charisma is important too. Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, there are people like me, for example, who are not going to be able to stick around for boring speaker. I'm not going to be able, like, I have so much to give to the world, but I wouldn't be able to stick around if this speaker would not be charismatic. And charisma, you are not born with charisma. You are not. There is just speakers. They are selling themselves by showing that they are gifted from the day they were born. They were not. We are all building this up. That's just a communication skill. Temperament can help in this, but at the same time, it's just a communication skill you have to develop. It doesn't mean that you have to scream and run on the stage. For example, there are speakers from Korea, and the culture there is that you speak with a low voice, but they're not just, you cannot just copy them speaking with a low voice. The way they speak like they are singing. And if you take different techniques from different cultures, you become something like Martin Luther King, for example, because he was speaking singing. He was saying, I have a dream. That's singing. That's Korean style of talking. But he was combining this with African style of talking, is high speech. I have a dream. Yeah, that one day. So it's combined. So he was not born with this. He has combined these things. You can combine, and it's a very interesting journey. It's interesting who you can become. Wow, who can I become? So yes, some people are attracted to only substance, yes, but those are little. Those are not all. Those are not all. And if, let's say, if Jesus would just preach to those who are looking for substance, we wouldn't know about Jesus today. He was speaking to everyone. He had the way to speak to person who doesn't understand even metaphors, because his disciples, they couldn't even understand the examples he was bringing, and he was a brilliant speaker. So you see, we need to, the communication skill is when you are finding the ways to communicate your idea to every person, and saying that, okay, let me just speak to people who are understanding on this level. It means that your this level is going to be only impacted. That's the problem. I think we need a goal to set before we start a channel and make videos or do other projects. No goal, no efficiency. Yeah, I agree. You have to find your mission before you start. You really need to have a mission. And my mission on this channel is to equip you to be a creator on a mission. So guys, we have 1,000 subscribers goal out of 1 million. This is the closest milestone. So we have 115 subscribers currently. We need to reach this smallest goal. We have this. It's not difficult. We can do it in a week if we want. If you invite every friend that is curious about making a YouTube channel, and he will start learning here. I have free courses. You can already set up your studio with my courses, have a good light, and start, getting ready for recording. In next week, I'm releasing courses on how to perform in front of camera and how to write scripts. So invite all friends. Let us make 1,000 subscribers. People who are subscribing here to this channel, they are subscribing to idea that you are a creator on a mission. And as Svetlana Rudovska said very well, we need to set a goal before we start a channel. You have to have a mission before you start any project, and I invite you into this journey. Let's change the world. Thank you so much for joining. Share this link, share this live stream. One day I will show you how to make clips to share. You don't have to share everything. You can just select one minute clip. You don't need to edit for this. You select and click on share. I'll show you one day. And you can use it for your channels. You don't need to share the whole video on your channel because, on social media. If you share the whole video on social media, people click the link and just watch a tiny part in the beginning and do not watch till the end. Is not good for your video. But if you create a small clip, there is a function like this, and share this small clip, they will go to your whole video and watch this small clip from there, and they will be suggested to watch the whole, to watch the rest of the video. So if you want to know how to do it, I'll show you another day. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you tomorrow, and that's for you.